brought by Royalq is one that I have never seen. Those watching us on YouTube, you are most welcome. Those watching us on TikTok, you are most welcome. Those that are able to view us from a private channel on Facebook, you are most welcome. We are everywhere. We are streaming on most all of our channels. You are most welcome to today's training. We have Abdil from Kenya. We have Pale from Milan in South Africa. We have Sidel from South Africa. We have Khan from Uganda. We have Jerina from Entebbe. We have Mili from Uganda. We have Robert from the ghettos. We have Julius from Kenya. We have Sophie from UK. We have Iso from Cameroon. We have Coach Milbot Ferdinand from Nigeria in Bells State. We have Yokram from Uganda, Wilberforce from Western Uganda. We have Swale from Congo, Kinshasa. We have Andrew Kisitu from Uganda. We have Monica from Saudi Arabia, my granddaughter. How are you? We have Alphonse from Malawi. We have Prince Alan Lukusa from Kampala. We have Sebanja from Colombia. We have Kakembo from Uganda. We have Swaib Ali. Ali, happy to see you from Juba, my friend. We have Omar from Saudi Arabia. We have Isaac from Tanzania. The names are very many. We have Karim from Kawari. We have Charles from Ghana. We have Moses from Uganda. We have Boniface from Kenya. We have Kate joining us from Nigeria. We have Betty from Turkey. All right, okay, all right. The names are very many. I cannot finish everyone. Allow me get started to the topic for today. Those that I have not met, we have Razel from Philippines. Happy to see you, my brother. The names are very many. The names are very many. I may not be able to welcome all of you today, but as my lesson goes on, I'll making breakouts and I'll make sure whoever has typed into the chat, you will be able to be welcomed. I hope with that said and done, can we get started? Because I may finish the whole day welcoming people. We are over 198 and welcome to today's call. I'll switch everybody's videos off and I'll make sure your microphones are muted. So everyone, you are most welcome and allow us get started into today's call. So I will use my old account that I rarely use to train today to share with you what Royalq has been able to bring. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sharing my screen. And if you can see my screen, give me a 1 in the chat. If you can now be able to see my screen, give me a 1 in the chat. If you can see my screen, give me a 1 in the chat. If you can see my screen, I should be able to know if my screen is visible on your side. If it's not, I'll stop and then share again. Let me share again because I want everybody to follow. This training is superb. I want everybody to follow. If you can now see my screen and that application, I've now widened my screen. Which important application do you see on the many I've shared according to our topic for today? Which important application do you see on the many I've shared? And if you can see it, then we are good to go. If you can be able to see the important application of our focus today is Royalq. Beautiful, beautiful. The important application on our focus today is Royalq. All right, my Royalq is already updated. And if you're using an Android phone, your Royalq application, if you go to system settings, the latest application on Android users is version 5v5.7.0. That is the latest application. What did Royalq bring on the latest application? Royalq today, this time around, worked on a very important aspect. The rest remained as they are. When you tap on home, you can be able to see the coins you are trading. You can be able to see the strategies. You can still, as we used to do, you can tap on add and you tap on spot and you'll be able to add the new coins Royalq keeps on bringing in the market, especially on your exchange. If you are using Binance, make sure on your top right, your exchange that you are using is the one there. If you're using HTX, you can also do the same. Make sure you have ticked on HTX. Make sure you always tap on the plus sign. At least tap on the plus sign. Okay, tap on spot and add all coins that the exchange has brought into your Royalq has brought into your use. So if you can be able to do those, give me a 3 in the chat. If you can be able to do those, give me a 3 in the chat. You can go on your top right, because now I want to dive into the topic. You can go on your top left, sorry, change the exchange. You can go on your top left, change the exchange, tap on the plus sign, and add new coins that have been added on your application. Give me a 3 in the chat, because that is one of the first steps. You must make sure you have been able to add the coins onto your application. You must make sure that you can add coins onto your application. All right. Because it is a very, very important feature that side. Now, friends, allow me go to the main topic for today. And if you are using an iOS phone, on this point here, you will have the word quantitative. If you are using an Android phone, on this point here, you will have the word strategy. So let me tap on strategy. Okay. And if you tap on strategy, on the top of your screen, Royalq will tell you the amount of USDT. The amount of USDT. The amount of USDT. I said someone is asking, how do we update our application? If you're using an Android phone, go to the Play Store and write in the word Royalq, then you tap on update. If you're using an iOS phone, go to your Play Store and write in the word Royalq and then tap on the word update. Is that easy or it is doable? Let me know. Is that easy or it is doable? Is that easy or it is doable? Because I want us to move on the same pace. Same pace. There are people who are following us, but they cannot be able to follow through. So I will just switch off my video. I'll switch off my video, so I'm not going to be seen throughout the coming, so that I can help some people here who want to follow, but they cannot be able to follow through very well. So I will be able to change. Okay, I'll be able to change and switch off my video. So do not look for me that I'm not visible. Okay, so that I can help some of these people that are following us elsewhere. Okay, now let's continue. Now, so even if your coins are in floating loss, like for example, this account has some coins that it has been on for some time, okay? Even if your coins are in floating loss, whether they are running or they are stopped, can you see the total amount of USDT on the top of my screen? How much is it? If you can be able to see it, this is how your account will display. This is how your account will display. If you can be able to see how much is it on the top of my screen. This account has been trading for some time, so don't take it very seriously. It has been present since 2021, okay? So how much is it? If you can see, it is the total amount of money, okay? It is the total amount of money. This account is not mine. It is for one of my friends. So it is the total amount of money that this person has invested since 2021, because the market dropped. And on the top of your screen, it can show you start account. It can show you today's profit. It can show you floating loss. So floating loss, friends, is the total. What you see on top is the total on all the coins that this account is floating on. And friends, here we can see stopped, running. So these coins are in stopped. So let me tap on them so that we can see them very clearly. Can we see them here? The coins are here. They are in the stopped mode. Okay, they are in a stopped mode. I hope we can be able to see them here. And basically, this account will always show you how and what is happening on a particular coin. Now, let me be very specific for us to see. Let me be very specific, coin per coin. Okay, are we following? Are we following? Because I'm not going to go back. Are we following? Now, what does stopped mean? What does stopped mean? Stopped means that I don't want my robot to continue buying more. I don't want my robot to continue selling this coin. Whether it gets in profit, I don't want my robot to sell it. Whether it gets in loss, I don't want my robot to buy more. Even when the market goes against me, I don't want my robot to buy more. Even when the market rises, I don't want my robot to sell. The mode is stopped mode. Give me a 1 in the chat. I give you the reason why. Why do I stop my coins? I want to answer. Why do I stop my coins? I stop my coins because maybe, for example, if this coin rises by my take profit of 3%, I don't want 3%. Maybe I want to sell this coin when it rises by 50%. So I want my robot to give me more than what I set as my, and when, for example, in the 1,000 sats, but it does not want the coin to sell, he does not want the coin to buy anymore. That's why the coin is in the stopped mode. So if I have a coin that I'm floating on, and I don't want my robot to buy, and I don't want my robot to sell, I can pause this coin. When I pause this coin, for example, how do I pause? So let me activate it. Let me activate it so that you can see it here. Now, it is on the running side. When I open on strategy, can we see that now it's on the running side? Can we see? Give me a 1 in the chat that it's now on the running side. Give me a 1 in the chat if you can see it's now on the running side. So, yes, when I open this coin and I tap on it, it has a take profit of 3. It has a take profit of 3%. Can we see that? So it means that if this coin rises on a take profit of 3%, my robot will sell. Give me a 2 in the chat if you have understood that. My robot will sell. Okay? My robot will sell. So if I want my robot to sell, yes, I will put it in running. But if I don't want my robot to give me 5%, I'll tap on pause. So it means when I come on strategy and I tap on running, there is no coin. But when I tap on stopped, the coin is there. Give me a 2 in the chat if you have understood why we pause coins. Give me a 2 in the chat if you have understood why we pause coins. Now, on your Royalq now, when you tap on quantitative or on strategy, you'll be able to see the total amount of money you have invested. You'll be able to see the amount of money that is floating. Floating is not a loss. Floating is not a loss. No. What is floating loss? What is floating loss? The word floating. How many of us have ever seen a floating, what can I say? A floating balloon. A floating balloon has not bursted yet. It is floating. So I usually give an example of Peter. Peter, let me use 1,000 sats. On 1,000 sats, we have position amount. Position amount. Position amount is the amount of money. Position amount is the amount of money that I have invested in this coin. Average price. Average price is the price at which my entries have happened in this coin. Position quantity. These are the number of coins that I've bought with my position amount. Now, floating loss. What is floating loss? Floating loss means I entered from here, but the market is here. So the difference between my entry and the current price and my entry is the average price. So the difference between my average price and the current price of the coin in percentage is this one. Give me a 1 in the chat if you have understood. My difference is negative 0.76. Is negative 0.84. That is my difference between my entry, and the current price. So if it is positive, it will be floating loss, and if it is negative, it will be floating loss, and if it is positive, it will be floating profit. Give me a 3 in the chat if you have understood what is floating loss. So floating loss is not real loss. No, floating loss is the difference between your average price and the current price of the coin at the moment. Now, big question. What is this floating loss on the top of my screen? The floating loss on the top of my screen is when they look at the total amount of money that is in all the coins. The total amount of money that is in all the coins. The difference is what you see as a floating loss here. Some of us have been here for some time, so don't worry about a floating loss. We shall show you floating profit one day, and you will wonder where we come from. Give me a 1 in the chat if you have understood what floating loss is, because I want to leave that topic. Now, I have a question. Is floating loss real loss? I have a question. Is floating loss real loss? I need some answers in the chat. Is floating loss real loss? I need some answers in the chat. Is floating loss real loss? No. The robot will never sell at a loss. The robot will always wait. The robot will always wait. The robot will never make a loss. And that's how superb the Royalq robot is. Okay? Now, let's go to the second topic. Now, I will tap on this coin. I'll tap on this coin. When I tap on this coin, it has the total amount of money that I have invested in this coin. It has the number of coins that I have. It has the average price of my entry. It has the current price of my entry. Focus here, friends. It has the number of times my robot has bought. It has the difference between my average price and my current price in percentage. When it is in negative, it is floating loss. When it is in positive, it is floating profit. Give me a 2 in the chat if that is clear. Now, friends, what has Royalq introduced? What has Royalq introduced? I want us now to pay close attention here. What has Royalq introduced? Here is the strategy details, the details of our strategy. Here is the fulfilled orders. Whether there is a buy or a sell, when you tap here, the robot will always show you the orders that have been transacted. And on the side here, friends, there is a small arrow. And when you tap on this small arrow, it takes you, if the robot has done cycles of buys and sells, they will open up. There's also another small arrow here that takes you to that point. But I want to go back here. Let me open the coin again. How many of us see the question and the arrow on my top right? How many of us see the question and the arrow on my top right? If you can see the question and the arrow on my top right, give me a 3 in the chat. If you can see the question and the arrow on my top right, give me a 3 in the chat. Beautiful. Now I'll tap on this arrow. Look what it says. Royalq will give you screenshots. Royalq will give you screenshots. On 1,000 sats, how much profit you have made with your username. Smart investing brings stable profits. It also will give you quantitative trading new era. It will also give you screenshots that you can share on your social media platforms, that you can share on your TikTok when you are in profit. And below on my screen, friends, Royalq has introduced you can save and you can share. So when your coin enters profit, now onto our Telegram channels, onto our WhatsApp group, we want you to take a screenshot by sending us this 1,000 sats has given me such profit. Can we see this? And at the end of the day, it brings the date, your email, your face, your return rate, and below here, it gives you your invitation code at the bottom of your screen. You can save it or you can share it. Are we together? Give me a 2 in the chat if you are following. Now I'm done with that side. If you don't have any coin trading, you cannot have this. So you can surface that and share it with your friends. Next, still on the upper right, Royalq has maintained the message of log. Log means what is happening on a particular coin. And also it has maintained the area of a transaction record where you can see transaction records from. Next. Friends, so far everything, the rest is as it was. I just want to go now to my main call for today, and this is the graph. If you can see, the 3 dotted small candles on the besides of this coin called 1,000 sats, give me a 2 in the chat. Give me a 2 in the chat. If you can see the small dotted lines, this takes me to the lesson for today. So if I want to pick a coin, I go on home. I want to pick a coin, I go on home. Maybe I want to pick the most negative coin, which is GFT. I tap on GFT. When I open GFT, GFT will bring me straight to the chart. Can we see that? And when I open GFT and it brings me straight to the chart, GFT will be giving me on top the price of the coin at the moment. It will give me the highest price in 24 hours. It will give me the lowest price in 24 hours. It will give me the trading volume in the coin. Next, I have a choice to either look at this coin in the 15 minutes, which means every candle you see here is 15 minutes. I can look at this coin in 1 hour. I can look at this coin in 4 hours. I can look at this coin in 1 day. I can look at this coin in 1 week. Why? The bigger the time frame, the bigger the profit. The lesser the time frame, the lesser the profit you take. Hello? When you are choosing the time frame, the bigger the time frame, the bigger the take profit. The smaller the time frame, the smaller the take profit. If you have understood that, give me a yes in the chat. If you have understood that and you are following very closely, give me a yes in the chat. Give me a yes in the chat. If you are understanding, now Julius, what do you mean? When you decide to look at the market in the 15 minutes time frame, I would advise you to take a 1.5 take profit on any coin you want to trade. You could take a 1.5 take profit. If you decide to look at the market in the 1 hour time frame, you could decide to take a 2% take profit. If you decide to look at the market in the 4 hour time frame, I would advise you to take a 3% take profit. If you decide to look at the market in the 1 day, you can take a 4 to even 5% take profit. If you decide to look at 1 week, you can take a bigger take profit. Give me a 2 in the chat if you have understood that. Then we switch to the main lesson for today. Give me a yes in the chat if you have understood that. Then we switch in the main topic for today. The bigger the time frame, the bigger the profit. If you choose the 15 minutes time frame, take 1.5 as your take profit. If you choose to pick 1 hour as your take profit, please take a 2% as the take profit. If you choose to look at your trade in the 4 hour time frame, please choose to take a 3% as your take profit. If you decide to look at the market in 1 day, you can even take 3% to 5% take profit. Those that are following us on our different channels, you on our YouTube channel, please tap on the love heart. If you are on our TikTok channel, please tap in the screen. All it is, before time expires, you'll find that your lives will have gone off, and me, I will not open them again. Okay, now, friends, in the middle of our chart is how the market is behaving. in the middle of our chart is how the market is behaving. Below of our chart here, below, down here on our chart, below on our chart, in the middle is how the market is behaving. Below our chart these are what we call indicators. These are what we call indicators. Now, indicators are going to help you make a decision which coin to trade and which coin not to trade. Let's scroll down. Royalq has brought another type to help us make faster decisions. And that's where I'm gonna discuss and spend my time. Next, down here, Royalq has introduced what we call technical indicators. And these indicators, they give you whether this coin is in a strong sell, whether this coin is in a strong sell, a sell, neutral, buy, or a strong buy. And it will not stop here. When we scroll down here, it will give you what indicators are saying. The indicators, here we have 9. What does this 9 mean? It means that on our indicator called moving average, the 5 moving average is saying buy. The 10 moving average is saying buy. The 20 moving average is saying buy. The 30 moving average is saying buy. Are we following? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, all right. People don't attend training. He has gone in. He has gone in now. Oh, he has gone. He has gone in. We can't hear. Who's this one? Oh, someone is over calling me. Mm. Guys, you know, my family members, they don't care whether 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 you are on Zoom. When they need you, they need you. So I was wondering why I was switching off. They were calling all my lines. All my lines. So please make money so that you can have more relatives. Make money so that you can have more relatives. Hmm? When you are broke, you don't have a relative. When you are broke, you don't have a relative. Let me tell you. Hey, when you are broke, you don't have a relative. When you are broke, even your wife hates you. Let me continue with my lesson. Also, Find good ways of making money. When you are seated at your shop, customers are not coming, and the government needs a taxi. Whether you say, you see, the situation is not good, government, please think of us, they don't care. Let me share my screen. Oh, government, help us, the economy is very bad. They don't care, they need their taxi. That's why you need to stay here where the taxi is there or not. Let me stay here. Some of you, you are on my meeting, but you are still in a taxi traveling somewhere to deliver something, yet you have a smartphone. Some of you on your job, the month is in the middle, they paid you this week, but you no longer see the salary. Hey, I have been there. You were paid the salary, but it has all disappeared, and you hate Royalq. Ooh, you are joking. Okay, let me continue with my lesson. Now, friends, you see, it's showing you up here that people are buying, and it is their technical indicators. The moving average is saying buy. The other technical indicators are saying please buy. We are going to go through all of them. Those that are neutral are 3, and those that are telling you to sell are 4. We are in the 15 minutes time frame. If you can see 15 minutes up here, give me a 4 in the chat. We are in the 15 minutes time frame. So when we change and we go in the 4 minutes time frame, the results are different. And we see in the 4 minutes time frame, the moving averages are saying sell. The technical indicators that we are going to see are neutral. 2 are neutral. Those that are saying to sell are 12 in the 4-hour time frame. But when we go in the 15 minutes time frame, can you see the difference? The indicator that is telling you to buy are more than the indicators that are telling you to sell. We are going to interpret each. If you have seen the difference, if you have seen the, let me change to 1 hour. If you have seen the difference, give me a yes in the chat. The buyers here in the 1 hour, the buy signals are 6, the neutral are 3, and those telling you to sell are 9. Don't complicate it. How do I use them? We are still learning about them. Then when we go to how we use them, we shall get there. I want you to first understand. Some people don't want to understand. They want to use what they have not understood. Now, these indicators, 1, we have what we call the moving average. We have a 5 moving average. It means that this one is looking at the past 5 candles in the 1 hour time frame. The average price, this one is 10. It means it's looking at the last 10 candles and then give an average price. This one is looking at the last 20 candles. This one is looking at the last 30 candles. This one is looking at the last 50 candles. This one is looking at the last 100 candles. This 100 candles. Give me a yes in the chat if you have understood this. And each gives a soothing line. Don't record. The meeting is streaming live. Give me a yes, a soothing, a line that when I take the average of the last 5, the price of the average price is here. If you have understood, give me a 5 in the chat. If you have understood this. Now, these are divided into 2. See, I wrote a lot of notes during my preparing for you here. So I don't want to leave anything, although they are off head, but I want to remember everything because I wrote for you a lot of notes. So I don't want to go without answering, providing answers to all the notes that I wrote yesterday. Before coming here, I did a lot of notes, but I don't want to leave you unanswered. I want to make sure that I differentiate everything for you to understand. Then tomorrow, I'm going to be here to teach you how we are going to use them. Just a minute. I pick my PDF here. Just a minute. I pick my PDF here. I don't want to leave anything. I want to make sure that everything I have answered. Okay. Just a minute. Now look here, friends. These moving averages, we have a 5, a 10, a 20, a 30, a 50, a 100, and a 200. These are the best moving averages. They are the best. Some are using multiples of 5, others are using multiples of 10. But they are divided into two. One, we have what we call the simple moving averages. SMA means simple moving averages. Then we have EMA, these ones, which means exponential moving averages. What does SMA stand for? Some answers in the chat. What does SMA stand for? Some answers in the chat. What does SMA stand for? Let me see if people are following. What does SMA stand for? What does SMA stand for? Simple moving average. Beautiful. What does EMA stand for? I want everybody to be following. What does EMA stand for? Now, what causes the difference is what I want to focus on. What causes the difference is what I want to focus on. Why are they different? I want also to note that they are giving you a different price. Can we see this? The 5 moving average, the price, and the exponential moving average, the price. The 10 moving average, can you see the price? And the 10 moving average, this side, can you see the price? Can you see the price on the 20 moving average? Can you see the price this side? Today's class is just to understand. How we are going to use them is where I'm coming tomorrow on Leader Doris's training. Today is just to understand. Can you see this? The price is different here and the price different here. Can you see the price different here and the price different here? Can you see the price different here? Can you see the price different here? Can you see the price different here and the price different here? What is the difference? Is what I want you to know. Yes, they are all, this is a 5 moving average. This price is of 5 simple moving average. And this is also a price of 5 exponential moving average. What is the difference? That's where now I want to focus. The difference differ in how they are calculated and how they respond to price changes. So how they come up with this and how they come up with this and how they respond when prices change. Okay? Let us start with the simple moving average. The simple moving average in simple calculation is calculated by giving a specific number of periods. Let us say 10 candles or 10 days. So the 10 days simple, the 10 moving average, the closing prices, you remember a candle, you know a candle, this one, if this is the open of a red candle, this is the close of the red candle. If this is a green candle, follow guys, just follow. You're not going to get lost. This is usually the open. Where it starts from is called the open. Where it ends is called the close. Now, it is simple. They look at the closing prices for the last 5 candles and divide by 5 to get the price. Or they look at the price of the last closing prices and then they divide by 10 to get this one. Give me one in the chat if you have understood. They use the closing prices, the price at which the candles closed. That's the calculation. I may not go to, but let us understand this one. The simple moving average does not respond so much to the recent price changes because it gives an equal importance to all data points within the selected period. With this can sometimes result into delay reaction of price movements. Now, simple moving averages, like the word says simple moving averages, they respond less to the recent prices. You see, when you are trading, the market has the immediate price and it has the recent price. So these ones, they don't give you data so much of the recent prices. So you may find that it gives delayed reaction to price movements. That's why you will notice that in many times, you will notice when you look at these two, that's why the prices are different. Let me go to these ones and explain them. Exponential moving averages is calculated by applying more weight to more recent prices, giving you the most sensitivity to the recent price movements. So you see now, these exponential moving averages, for them, they look so much on the recent prices. I will not go into the mathematics. So when we are looking at the two, this one gives you more responsive or gives you more information. There are people who are switching on their videos, but their faces are not visible. More recent. This one will give you more recent information. Especially people who want to capture short-term market movements. If you want to trade and capture short-term market movements, the exponential moving averages will be very important in your trading. And if you see they are giving you more data, these ones are the ones that will give you more information. Now look here. This side, it is showing you sell and just 2 buys. Look here, friends. But this side is showing you 4 sells and 3 buys. Why? Because this one does not give information that is so recent. This one gives information that is more recent. Give me a yes in the chat if you have understood better. This one, I'm going to block him. You see, someone wastes your time. You show them the business. Then they go and join another person. After getting started, now they overcall you. Where are you? Come here. Come here. Teach me the business. Where are you? Come here. Teach me the business. I'm the one who taught you. Then when you come to join the business, you go and join another person. Don't come to me. Just come and attend trainings. Me, don't waste my time. I teach you the business. Then you go and say, I joined my friend. Don't waste my time. Don't look for me. Don't call me. Come and attend training. Don't waste my time. Come and attend training. They are free. Don't waste my time. Then you, after starting the business, you look for me. Don't. It is just wasting my time. Don't tell me I'm your friend. Business is not friendship. But are we following? Let me know, friends. Are we following? Listen. Now, look here. What is the difference? Today, we are just learning. What is the difference? What is the difference? The exponential moving averages, these ones, the exponential moving averages is more sensitive to recent price changes, while the simple moving average is slower and smoother, giving equal weight to all periods. When it comes to lag, the lagging means delay. The word lagging means delay. The exponential moving averages are less lagging. They don't delay. So which means it can signal trends faster. This one can show you that this coin is moving up faster than this one. Today we are just learning. But you need also to know that it may give wrong signals. It may give false what? Signals, because it gives information faster. Traders who prefer to capture short-term trends, they use this one. While those who prefer more stable and less reactive, they use this one. Have you understood? If you want to capture short-term trends, you read so much here on these ones. If you want to get results that are not so much reactive to the trend, that are more stable, you will use this one. So if a trader, it will depend on your strategy. Are you looking for a trade that is slow? Are you looking for a trade that is slow but will give you good results? This one. Are you looking for a trade that you want it to give you faster results? Read here. Give me a yes in the chat. Give me a yes in the chat if you have understood the difference between the simple moving average and the exponential moving average. Today we are just understanding how we are going to use them is going to happen tomorrow. And from tomorrow, anybody can use their Royalq to make money at any time. Can we continue or we stop here? Can we continue or we stop here? Now down it will give you a summary. Down it will give you a summary. What is the summary? The summary that in the moving average, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are telling you buy, and sell are 9. Now, which one is better? Is that one of the sells are 9 and the buys are 5? So it means that the sellers are stronger than the what? It means that the sellers are stronger than the what? It means that the sellers are stronger than the what, if you are following? The sellers are stronger than the buyers. Now let's go to the chart. Now, these are the moving averages. Now look here, guys. The other down, I'm in 15 minutes. So I need to be in the same time frame. Not here, friends. If I choose 1 hour here, I must be in 1 hour here. Give me one in the chat if you understand. I must be in 1 hour here. If I choose 15 minutes here, I must be in 15 minutes here. Do you see that in 15 minutes, the buyers are stronger than the sellers? Give me a yes in the chat if you can see. Do you see that in 15 minutes, the buyers are stronger than the sellers? And you see that someone who's chasing quick profit, the exponential moving averages are telling you what? The exponential moving averages are telling you buy. But these ones that are telling you, my friend, for us, we are not very clear about the situation. Are you getting the difference? Today, we are just understanding. We are not talking about how we are going to use them. And those of you who have been with me for some time, what is happening here? Those of you who have been with me for some time, I'm not going to interpret this. What is happening here? Some answers in the chat. I'm not going to explain that today. But what is happening there? Those who have been with me, it is a golden cross. I will explain tomorrow maybe. It's a golden cross. Does the golden cross there speak the same language with what we see here? Does the golden cross there speak the same language with what we see here on the exponential moving average? Because we are using a later time frame, does it speak the same language? Thank you. We have not talked about how we are going to use them. Tomorrow, attend the same class. I will attend Leader Doris's class, and I'll teach you how we are going to use them. Can we now continue to technical indicators? Having finished moving averages, we want now to go to technical indicators. Technical indicators. Technical indicators. Now, these ones, they're a little bit mathematical. I want to end with them. Or I will start with these ones tomorrow. Because here I need to have you when your mind is a little bit fresh. Let me start with the pivots. How many of you have been worried and scared to draw support and resistance? If you are here and we are worried, how can I draw support and resistance? How can I know? How can I know? Friends, Royalq has finally brought an indicator that is drawing support and resistance for you. Royalq has drawn support and resistance for you. When you open a coin, what does resistance mean and what does support mean? Look here, this means resistance and this means support. So it means that once it gives you resistance, like you see, this is resistance 1, resistance 2, resistance 3. It gives you support 1, support 2, support 3. Let me first change so that I teach something small here. Let me change and I teach something small here. Royalq is the best tool all over the world. It is the best now. It's getting sweeter and sweeter and sweeter. Let me share something. Let me share something here. Can you see my whiteboard? I'm going to end with this, then tomorrow I'll continue. Okay, now look here, friends. Royalq says this is Bitcoin. Okay. Why is my line not straight? Is it because my blackboard is crooked? I'm not an artist, so don't study. He's even drawing crooked lines. He's even drawing. I'm making money. You draw your straight lines. It's none of my business. He's even drawing crooked lines. They are supposed to be straight. What was his primary school? When I'm paying bills, do they ask me where I started from? He's not a professor. He's not what? Who told you making money needs professionalism? I know professors who have a lot of knowledge but very broke. So stop complaining. He started from a UPE school. We all pay bills. We all pay bills. He comes from a village. He's not staying in a city. My friend, does money choose location? You see, that Kamani is coming from Africa. Does the market know? Does Bitcoin know? Does Bitcoin know that I come from Africa? He's not even married. He might not even be married. No, Bitcoin doesn't know whether I'm single or married. So don't complain. Don't complain. So it doesn't care. He's even driving a small car. I'm driving a big car. Don't worry. Cryptocurrency doesn't know. Okay, I will continue. Can we continue? Can we continue? Okay, we. That was a joke. Never take me seriously. So let's say Bitcoin is at, let me say, the last highest price of Bitcoin was at $73,000. Focus here. So it means this will be our resistance 3. Okay? Now, let's say Bitcoin moved from here and around here at 60,000. The market was resisted a little bit, raised up, then it came down. So this will be, let me say this was our resistance 2. Then the market came, let me say at $50,000 here. The market raised up a little bit before it continued down. I'm just giving an example. Now, this was resistance 1. Now, this is the pivot point. This is the pivot. Now, below the pivot, there is support 1, support 2, and support 3. Now, what happens? Royalq is going to give you areas, prices. It will say resistance 1. Let me say 60. Resistance 2. Let me say this is resistance 2. Then it will say resistance 150. Then it will give you pivot. It will give you a pivot price. And let me say the pivot price is 49,500. Then it will give you resistance 3, $73,000. Then it will give you support 1. Let me say $49,000. Then it will give you support 2. Let me say it is 48, like that. So it will give you prices at which the market is being supported and being resisted accordingly. What is support? Support is a point where the market, this is support, where the market is failing to go lower. Then what is resistance? Resistance is a point where the market is failing to go higher. So it gets resisted and it comes down. So it is going to draw for you areas where the market is being resisted and where the market is being supported. Now, why is this important to you? As a trader, you can know that if the market, let me say, if the market, for example, let me share Royalq so that you can see. Let me share my screen. Just a minute. I don't know why I can't share. Just a minute. Is this guy who has switched on his video? He's busy taking his tea. He's enjoying. He's enjoying. The way he's enjoying the tea. Enjoying. Now let me bring Bitcoin so that I can. Now look here, friends. Let me stay in the 15 minutes time frame. Support 3 is 48,000 using classic. Fibonacci is 51,000. I'm going to explain what is the difference. Support 2 is at 51,000, but on the Fibonacci, it is at 54. Support 1 is at 56. On Fibonacci, it is at 56. Sub-pivot is at 59, still 59 on the Fibonacci. Resistance is at 64 and still 62 here on Fibonacci. Resistance 2 is at 67. Resistance is at 64. Resistance 3 is at 72. Resistance of Fibonacci is at 67. So if someone wants to trade, let me say Bitcoin, and Bitcoin gives you an entry price in the 15 minutes time frame here, it is at 60. You can see that if it is at 60, it is above the pivot point. Give me one in the chat if you can see. The price is above the pivot point. It means that the take profit will be at this price if you are using the classic mode, and the take profit will be at 62 if you are using, I'm going to explain. You be slow with me. You are taking someone to Nairobi, he wants to be in South Africa. What's wrong with some people? He's still in Nairobi, but he wants to be in South Africa now. He has not yet understood what you are talking about past. I'm coming. Be slow with me. You break the plane and enter through the what? So village men may not understand so much the structures of a plane, but we have taken several. So it doesn't matter whether you understand it, but are you using it? Are you using it? Someone may be understanding the structures of the car, but he doesn't use one. So it is not about how you understand it, but do you use it? People are very knowledgeable, but someone understands all the different parts of an engine of a car, but he doesn't use one. So how does knowledge become applicable? How does it become applicable? Yes, determinant. Yes, someone is a doctor. He understands the anatomy. He understands the anatomy, but he doesn't have a child. How does the knowledge become applicable? I'm joking. Those are my jokes. Never take me serious. So let us use the app. It is here. Let us use the app. I'm joking. Please, some people don't take my jokes very seriously. They are jokes. They are jokes. They are not serious points. Don't go with them. I see Peter is writing them down. Peter, they are jokes. It is not about Royalq. It is not about Royalq. Mariam, not anatomy. It is a joke. Please, joke. It's a joke. It is a joke. Don't play. You see, the lawyer has started. Don't press charges on me. Don't yes, please don't press charges on me. Peter, don't write them down and press charges on me. Yes, yes, don't please. They are jokes. Let's continue. Can we see prices? We have the current price of the market. So from where the market is, The robot is telling you where it expects the market to be resisted and where the market is, where it expects the market to be supported below. Are we following? From where it is, where it is expected to be resisted, and from where it is expected to be supported. That is the first thing. Now, what are these? If you have understood the word resistance and support, give me one in the chat. If you have understood the word resistance, so here, this is the highest resistance price, and this is the lowest support price. So in between, there are points where the market can be supported and resisted at different points. It can be resisted from where it is above this price. So it can be resisted here. If it breaks through, resisted here. If it breaks through, resisted here. Now, it's going to be very easy. Let me put it in one day. It's going to be very easy for traders, let me put in one day, to come up and say, according to where the price of Bitcoin is, the next point where we expect Bitcoin is at, let me say, if it goes above this price, 62. So the next point where we expect Bitcoin is at 62. If it fails to go above 62, we now expect Bitcoin to come down to 56. If you have understood that, give me a yes in the chat. The current price of Bitcoin is at $60,000. According to support and resistance here, we expect Bitcoin to go to $62. If it fails, then it will come down $56,000. If you have understood that, give me a yes in the chat. That is support and resistance. Support, resistance where the market fails to go beyond, support where the market fails to go below. Don't say this is my first time. Oh, I don't understand what you are talking about. I've explained. A price where we expect the market, where the market has failed before to go above it, and where the market has failed before to go below it. Below it is support, above it is resistance. Now, these are different points where the market is being resisted and supported. Now, for example, the price of Bitcoin in the one-day time frame is at $60,000. So, using what we have here, it is above support. So it is heading to pivot. Give me one in the chat if you can see. The price is above 55,000 using classic, is above 56 using Fibonacci. It is heading here. That is the next price where the lines have been drawn and the market is expected. So if it breaks this price, then what is the next price we expect Bitcoin? If it breaks this price, what is the next price do we expect Bitcoin? Some answers in the chat. You could give me any of these two. What is the next price do we expect Bitcoin? If it breaks above $62,000, what is the next price? Some answers in the chat. Some will say 69, some will say 70K. If you have understood, now the robot will interpret this for you. If you have understood, give me a yes in the chat. I have not talked about how we use them. My topic for today is to understand. You see, someone may say, me, I want it. Now let me explain. What is pivot point? Now I'm going to explain what is pivot point. We now know what is support and resistance. This one who is saying no. You know some people, that's why I don't want people to switch on their camera. Can I tell you a story? One day I was on Zoom and someone was in his bed with his wife. So I kept on getting notification from YouTube. You are having more views. 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 I went to check. I went to check the YouTube. I got to know that the reason why I'm having more views, people, their video was being enjoyed by the viewers during my lesson. So some people, you are here and you want to kill two birds at the same time. You want to understand support and resistance. You are also doing some things the other side. You are also doing some things the other side. So by the time I say support resistance, you are finishing the other side, but you also want to know what is happening this side. So by the end of the day, you lose everything. You lose everything. You lose everything. So I'm here, support resistance. So you are also the other side, support resistance. Support resistance, support resistance. By the time I say, have you understood? You are the other side. So please, be here. Be here. So be here. Don't mix it. Don't do double resistance. So you are finding, don't mix it. Stay here. Me, I'm seeing you. Some of you at the other side doing support resistance, support resistance, support resistance. You are getting supported, then you are getting resisted. Please focus here when I'm explaining. Don't try. The other side, it is not support and resistance. Hey. It is a joke. It is a joke. Never take it serious. People sending emojis, be clear with which emojis you are sending on the platform so that we don't remove you. So let's continue. Don't send the funny emojis. Be clear. People sending emojis. That was a joke. It is not serious. It was a joke. Continue with your comments. Now let's continue. We are finishing the lesson now. We now know what is support and resistance. But Royalq is telling us that it is dividing them into two. One is called the classic, another one is called Fibonacci. Then in this resistance and support, they are giving us something they call pivot. So we want to understand what is a pivot, what is classic, what is Fibonacci. Please, can you recover from this, from the joke? You know, some people, when you joke for them, they want to joke the whole day. The joke has ended. Please recover. Recover from the joke and we continue with the lesson. Don't stay in the joke. Come back, please. Don't stay in the joke. By the time I joke again, you will still be on the previous joke. So come back. We are now back to business. Now, what is the pivot point? It is a very important point. Pivot is a very, very important point. And I want to focus my remaining few minutes on that. Then we come to the end of the call. Then tomorrow, I will attend Leader Doris's training. I finish with the stochastic. Then we are going to start using them and suffer with money. Okay, friends, what are pivot points? How many of us remember physics? You know, when you drew something like this, then Peter sits here, Anita sits this side. You see, then you start playing. You see? So this point here, it is the turning point. It is the equilibrium. People who did physics. People who did physics. People who did physics. A seesaw. Seesaw. Now, those who did a flacrum, a flacrum, a flacrum, flacrum, equilibrium. Now, those who did the SST and history, they are now sweating. I have not said Royalq, a beam balance, thank you. A chesuo, the apex, the turning point. Bachwezi. Hey, they need now to go back to school. But this is what I mean, friends. A pivot point is this important point that is in the middle of this coin as it is traveling to higher heights or as it is traveling to lower points. Okay, it is this middle point that is traveling from that point to higher heights, and it is traveling to that point, from that point to lower heights. Now, look here, friends. Whenever the market is moving from lower points and it crosses above the pivot point, it is now going to the resistance. And at the same time, if the market crosses this pivot point, it's now heading to a lower point. Give me a yes in the chat if you have understood that simple before now I explain in real trading. If you have understood, give me a yes in the chat. So when the market breaks the pivot point and it is going up, it means the market is planning to form a new higher price. The sound, I'm not clear. Am I loud and clear? Look here, friends. When the market is coming from the lowest point and it closes above, this price, it is planning to go to a higher point, which is our resistance. And if the market is moving from above here, and now it crosses below this, it means this coin. So in short, what is happening right now is that the market is moving from a lowest point, planning to go to the pivot point. Give me a yes in the chat if you can see, because the price of the pivot point is at $62,000. So the market, the current price of the market is at $61,000. It means that the market has moved from support, planning to go to pivot. Give me a one in the chat if I'm clear. It has already crossed above this price. Let us take this. It is a line. There is a line here. 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 So the market has crossed above this line. It's now planning to go to this line. If the market closes above this line, then it is planning to go to this line. If the market closes above this line, then it is planning to go to this line. If the market closes above this line, it's planning to go to this line. That is how, if the coin is on an uptrend. Is it clear? Is it clear? Is it clear? The same is the scenario. The same is the scenario. If the market is here, let's say here there is a line, 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 here there is a line. This is an example. And the market moves from here. It means it is planning to come here and continue on its journey on the downside. Are we clear? Don't complicate. Don't bring in terminologies. Now, this is where now lawyers and doctors get confused. They are very knowledgeable. People are very knowledgeable. This is where now it becomes a problem. They get something simple and they make it complicated. Don't complicate. Then someone brings in no terminology. Now, the price of Bitcoin is above $55,000. Where do we expect the price of Bitcoin to go in our expectation? The price of Bitcoin is at $60,000. It is above our support. What is the next price do we expect our Bitcoin to go? If it's all is going to move up, some answers in the chat. What is our next price at the pivot? If it fails to hit the pivot, if it fails to hit this price, where do we expect the market to go? Below it. Where do we expect the market to go? If it fails to go for the pivot, where do we expect the price to go? If it fails to go up, where do we expect it to go? Which price? Here. Simple. Is that hard? Is that hard? Is that hard to understand? Now, I'm finishing my class. Is that hard to understand or it is easy? You don't bring chemistry. Now, is it easy for someone to say, now, this is now where we are going to add in other indicators and make a lot of money. And that's where now I will go back here. Let me see on moving averages. Now, this is in one day. Let me take it to 15 minutes. I want to take my 1.5. I'm giving you an example. What is the moving average trying to tell me? That the buyers are more than the sellers, or the buyers are more, who is bigger? Now I will put on my moving average. What are moving averages saying? Are they saying that buyers are more than sellers, or sellers are more than buyers? Buyers are more. There is a stronger buy in the market, and I will confidently enter this coin, Bitcoin. And like we are going to see, on your Royalq here, there is a sell button. So you enter and put in a selling price. Hello, let me use my coin as an example. Let me open this coin. Let me open this coin. I show you. We are going to suffer with money. Hey. Here the buyers are more. Then I go on the pivot point. Where is my resistance? Where is the current price? Where is my next resistance? I will take this one. You see this price here, 0.002660. Then I come on my Royalq here, create, Martingale. Then I put here sell. Then I put in the price at which I want my robot to sell 0.000260. How much of my coin? 100%. Do you see that my Royalq is going to show me that when the price will hit that price, I'll make $50. I've just taken this resistance here, this one here. But if I increase my grid and I go in for this highest resistance price, this one for Fibonacci, 0.302801. Let me go. I come here. I want to see how much I will make. 0.000280. How much all of it? You say I'll make $152 in profit. We are going to die money. So I'm going to explain to you how you put in this and determine how much you want. How much you want. We are done with taking little profits, yet we want more, and we are coming there. I know someone is about to ask me, I want to do it now. I want to do it now. Cool down. Cool down. You need to first understand some more few things. Cool down. Hey, I want now. I want now. You are over delaying. Too much of anything is always bad. Let us end with here. Friends, what is classic and what is Fibonacci? My last, then we close the session. What is Fibonacci and what is classic? What is Fibonacci and what is classic? When I go to Trading View and I draw my lines, people, let me teach what brought me. I'll reach there. Now, classic points, these classic ones you see, they are calculated using the high, the low, and the close of prices. For example, to get this pivot point, they will say, what was the highest price? What was the lowest price? And what was the close? Let's look at this coin in the 15 minutes time frame. Can we all see the highest price? Can we all see the lowest price? The close is not here. Give me a yes in the chat. Can we see the highest price? Can we see the highest price? Can we see the lowest price? So Royalq will look at the highest price, the lowest price, and the close of the price and give you a pivot point. This one. That's how the pivot point is calculated. Can you see that the pivot point is the same? Can you see that the pivot point is the same? Give me a yes in the chat if you can see it. Can you see that the pivot point is the same? Give me a 2 in the chat to understand if you can see it. The pivot point is the same. Why? Because Royalq looks at the high, the low, and the close of yesterday, and the pivot is the same. Let me go back to Bitcoin. We are going to make money. Oh, now there are these other robots. See, now I see people who are from you trading. I can see you here. You were talking bad about us, but for us, we don't talk bad about you. So you are here. Hey, Royalq. Now you are here. I can see you. You are here. You are now sweating plasma. People of you trading. You were speaking bad about us. Now we are enjoying and you are salivating. Yeah, you trading. When the market went down the other season, you lost everything. And you are busy saying Royalq is very bad. Are you sure? I can see you. You have the Trading View up and Royalq. Now you are checking the other side. You have been losing. Here we enjoying. The bot is trading you instead of you trading the bot. Apollo bot, how are you? People in Apollo bot, the future of finance, as if they control the market. I'm not here to attack anyone. I come in peace. Now, friends, can you see that the price of the pivot point is the same? Because they will look at the high, the low, and the close. Nobody can duplicate the owner of the idea. You know, Royalq was the creator of the idea. Now, photocopies, can you settle? Photocopies, Octopus, Trading Sombolo. Photocopies, can you settle? Nowhere you belong. Nowhere you belong. You are amateur. The owner of the idea, the original idea cannot be duplicated. Now they are about to copy. They introduced, let us put in those indicators. Now the compass, octopus, now they are going to copy. They introduced something. Let us also introduce. You will suffocate. We are bringing another idea. I'm not the founder. Someone is about to say that cowboy looks like. I'm not the founder. I'm not the founder. Someone is about to say, maybe I'm not the founder of this robot. I'm a user. I even don't know who brought it. Okay, can you see the pivot point is the same? Now, what is the difference between the two? Then I end my lesson. Now, friends, uh, don't touch our indicators. Guys, we are done. We are done with the jokes. Back to the lesson. Back to the Jackson is warning you traders not to touch our indicators. Please, we are done with that. Let's continue with the lesson. So that is the pivot point. That is the pivot point. Now look here. What is the difference between classic and Fibonacci? Let us get the difference, okay? Traders that use Fibonacci levels to identify potential points where the market might encounter support and resistance. The classic pivot points are straightforward, okay? And they are sold in markets that are sideways. You know, when the market is on a sideway, these classic, they're straightforward. Like for you, when you go to the chart and draw the line, this is where the line will appear. This is where the line will appear. Now, the Fibonacci is a little bit different. These ones are derived from Fibonacci sequences, and they are believed to represent natural turning points in the market. These are natural turning, they are believed this to be natural turning points in the market. The Fibonacci pivot points often appeal to traders who believe that the market moves according to retracement levels. So, you know, people who believe that the market, you know, let's say the Fibonacci point, there are three important Fibonacci points. One, 0.38, 0.5, and 0.618. If you don't know about them, these are three turning points. So when they are calculating Fibonacci levels, when they are calculating support and resistance of Fibonacci levels, they look at these tools. For example, let me give an example of support. Support one, how is this one calculated? They say the pivot point minus 0.382, the Fibonacci line. What they get, they subtract the high minus the low to get this point. So now these are natural sequences where the market usually recovers from. From my own experience, for example, support 2 usually comes from the 0.168, and resistance 2 also comes from the 0.618 or the 61% line. So now these ones come from the natural sequences of the Fibonacci lines. This one is just the normal drawing of support and resistance. Let me explain the key differences and we move. The classic pivot points, they use just simple arithmetic, while the Fibo points incorporate Fibonacci ratios. That's the difference. How do we interpret them? The Fibonacci points may align with traders who rely on Fibonacci retracement levels on their analysis, while the pivot points are often favored by traders looking for standard support and resistance. So this is standard support and resistance. And you always discover that the prices sometimes here might be lower than here. How do you choose? The choice between classic and Fibonacci points often depends on the trader's strategy. Some traders use both, or some decide to use one. Now, tomorrow, or on Monday, I will explain how we are going to be using. My role for today was just to give you an understanding. I hope you were able to learn something from today's call. I see we are over 327 participants. Thank you so much. I hope now we we hope from you now, you will now be giving us screenshots. When you are sharing with us our screenshots, please give us screenshots like this, screenshots like this, screenshots like this onto our Telegram channels onto with you and support you accordingly. As well as a privilege,